All right, guys, so you know we've been doing a lot of launch monitor reviews and really some epic golf simulator builds, but the question that we've gotten quite a bit is, does a mobile launch monitor really make you a better golfer? Well, today we're gonna answer that question. We're down here at Woodmont Country Club. We're gonna see top 50 instructor Trillium Rose, and she's gonna show us a couple of ways you can get the most out of your launch monitor and really become a better golfer by using this as an important tool in your toolkit. Let's go meet up with Trillium. All right, Trillium, so great to see you again. Back in this beautiful spot here at Woodmont on the range, and we brought our launch monitor with us because last time we were here, you taught us some really effective ways to warm up, getting ready for our round, and we're able to take that out on the golf course. But now, you know, a lot of us more than ever have our own launch monitors, but more importantly, it's a tool in our tool bag that we need to know how to use effectively. So I wanted to show us a couple of things that we can do as part of our practice sessions or whatever else, where we're using this the way pros would be using technology.
So I'd say the first point is, usually when you have a driving range, you just have a big open space.
Right.
And you're hitting shots, they may feel good, but directionally, are they what you want? So we don't really have any parameters that you would see on a golf course. The other thing is, your targets might not be what you want. I mean, the targets are usually set on the range and they are what they are, but what you can do with the rapsodo is you can figure out the targets that you want to work on, and then you can see how that ball responded and where it ended up. So let me walk you through what I think you should do with the rapsodo if you have, say, half an hour, either you're before round or you've got a half an hour to practice. So we're going to hit the target practice. Target practice is pretty cool because you've got a whole array of different targets. I'm going to just set it to the center, but I like starting with the shortest, which is 34 yards. And we're
starting less than full swing.
Way less than full swing.
Okay.
We're just warming things up. We're making good contact. But the idea would be, I'm going to start hitting some shots. I'm not going to worry too much if it goes exactly 34, but I'm going to try. I'm just focusing at the moment on making good contact. So I'll make a practice swing, and I'm listening for the club hitting the ground. I know that's a non-negotiable part of hitting any wedge shot or any iron shot.
Yeah.
When I feel ready, I'm just going to go ahead and hit. So you can see.
Yeah, what are we looking for those first couple shots of the day?
Yeah, so those first couple shots of the day, we're looking for clean contact. We're looking for something that hits the ground and the ball at the same time.
Okay.
Not too far behind or not all ball. And on the screen, I can see in the top left corner, I can see my carry, my total, and my proximity to the hole. That is huge information for me. So the carry distance is where the ball hit the ground. That's important to know. My proximity to the hole is 13 feet. So now I know I have a 13-foot putt. Right. So I'm pretty happy knowing that information. If I had a 40-foot putt, I know I probably want to work on it a little more.
Gotcha. So hit a couple at this target, try to get that proximity, and then we start to work up to full swings?
And let's work up to full swing. Yep.
Good thing is, we can change the target right here. So if we go in, let's see, we're going to change target settings. And what would you do next?
Let's go to 55.
Okay.
Okay, so that was my 55-yard shot.
So we can see our carry number again. We see our total.
So carry was 55, rolled up to 61. My proximity is 18 feet.
Yeah. I mean, this is huge too, guys, because you think about it, how many of us, we don't have quite as beautiful a range as this, when we go and we're practicing, and we may have one lousy flag out there. Now we've got tons and tons of targets that we can work with.
Tons and tons of targets. So if we're talking about practice and taking our range game to the course, this is so much more than just practice. This is giving you information that you would need when you're going to go and play.
Yeah.
What does it feel like to have a shot land at 55 versus just a full swing? And swing felt good, but I really don't know what the distance was.
Right.
Two very different things. So let's go into the instant replay feature.
Okay. So we changed the target. Now we're gonna get a chance to look at the instant replay, right? So we've got a 100-yard target. I see it highlighted. You got a new club in hand. So what's next?
Okay. So what's next? I'm gonna hit a 100-yard shot. Let's look at the video, because sometimes things may be a little off on contact, but it's helpful to see what happened. We have cell phones, we can take video of our swing, but the Rapsodo takes it automatically, and that's a great feature, and you can even slow it down right away. So let's do one. I kind of want to hit one. I kind of hit one, like a squirrely one, so we can really see.
We can really see what happens when it goes wrong?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so should I do toe or heel? Which one do you want to see?
You got great club face control that you can call that out, because
All right, let's do a heel one. Mike, are you gonna be safe over there?
You'll be safe. Well, it went right, so it's definitely in off the heel there.
Okay, let's see the video.
So we get all of our ball data and our tracer there off to the right.
Hey.
And then we're gonna get this impact cam and the swing cam are gonna pop up for us. So let's look at that impact vision. And you see it there.
Yep, and you see it. So I can even slow it down, which is really cool. So the club's coming in, yep, and there I am with that heel.
Yeah.
And we can even see the face is quite a bit open.
Yep.
So that's giving me just a visual on what I'm looking for. So do you see all the dirt and sand flying everywhere?
Yes.
I mean, generally that would be a good thing. It depends on the turf that you're hitting from. You want to hit the ground, you want some interaction. But if you're taking massive chunks, I mean, that's giving you more information. Maybe the club is really moving downward and you've got soft grass. So these are the kinds of things that you could pick up on video that you might not have the opportunity to see if you didn't have it otherwise.
Absolutely. I mean, think about it, guys. How many times we do this? You're like, you're hitting it on the range. You're like, what am I doing wrong? You start asking your buddies, are you seeing something I'm not seeing?
Yeah.
Here, the camera sees it.
So in the shot vision camera, we can see that too. So I can see my whole body and I can say, oh, wow, I'm actually lifting up quite a bit. I tend to do that if my back's tight.
Yeah.
So, all right, there it is. I see it. On my way down, on my way down. Yep, wide open face. I did like the divot turning through. So anyway, there's just lots of different things you can look at and pick up. If you want to see club face, you've got the impact vision. If you want to see the full swing, you've got shot vision.
So you're seeing cause and effect. I like that. All right, so now we're gonna switch it up. We're gonna assume you use that to kind of get warmed up, diagnose some of the things of what's going on with your swing that day. And now we switch it over. The other thing we've got in the Rapsodo is the range. This is something we've shown you guys in our reviews of the Rapsodo in the past, but I wanna see how you use this in that kind of next step as we're getting ready to either go out on the golf course or we're just working on our game.
Let's play a leapfrog game. So we'll start short.
Yeah.
Let's say, like, call a number, like 50 yards.
50 yards, okay.
Let's start with 50 yards, and then let's see if we can gradually go farther than that, farther than that, farther than that.
I like that. I also like it because the range is no pressure.
Yeah.
The golf course there is. So now we give ourselves a little pressure because we kind of have to hit a certain number in order to move on.
Yeah. And what I also like about this game is it's focused on one thing in particular. So you're hopefully not going to get distracted with trying to hit it far, but you're working on tempo, you're working on feel, and you're working on just generally getting a distance as opposed to a myriad of other things that you could get distracted with when you're practicing.
Yeah, it is the opposite of just going to the range and beating balls.
The opposite.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's my first shot. Hopefully that's about 50.
So carried 52,
50.
Total 62.
Okay. I may take a look at the total as well, just so I have a sense of where it might roll out on a course, but it's the carry distance that I care about sort of the most.
Right, because conditions can change, it can get softer.
Yep, that's right. All right, so if I hit 50, now I want to do 60.
Okay. So you're not only that, you're also kind of training your eye and getting an idea of distances and the feel of it.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go, 67 carry.
Okay.
All right, so 60, and then you just kind of work your way up through that leapfrog?
Just working my way up. And I'm doing this, I have this with a pitching wedge in my hand. You could do this with any club in your bag. Probably you don't need to do it with lots of clubs on the top end. Like, I don't know that you'd need it with a hybrid per se, but I'd say your short irons it's a great exercise.
For sure.
For feel.
Yeah. All right, so the one more thing I want to show, there's another feature in here I use a lot. I use it at home, into a net, but I do use it on the range as well. It's the practice mode. What I like is it's kind of like all the data at once, including those visuals that we're getting from the cameras. Plus I get to see my shot list. But again, I've just kind of been using it and just been enamored with the data I'm getting. I want to see how to use it effectively. So if you had this in front of you as a coach, what's something that you would do to make sure you're using this and maximizing your time on the range?
So in this case, this would be an appropriate time if you're working on something specific like launch angle.
Yeah.
To be in the practice mode, because then you can really see that number well. So
yeah, which I think it's a big thing with wedges, right? But I guess every club in the bag.
All right, so let me hit one, and then we can see the numbers that come up and go from there.
So we got to see a quick replay, and then you've got all your data here. So what's standing out to you there? What's standing
out to me is that my carry was 92 and my total was 110. that means I hit it a little thin, it landed, and it rolled too much. So I'm gonna go for the next one, have a little bit more turf interaction. But I don't want to spend too much time getting sucked into numbers. I still want to feel like I've got a swing that I'm going to have on the golf course. I'm not going to get too caught up in technique, but I'm going to swing and just kind of see what happens. So I might even limit myself, let's say, to 3 balls and say, I'm just going to hit 3 with one focus. My focus with these 3 will be making nice contact with the ground.
Okay.
And I'm going to do that by staying level with my posture.
Yeah, I like that because sometimes we can get a little overwhelmed. There's so much there.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so clearly I hit too much.
Yeah, and you see that in the launch angle,
Yep, you see
right?
it in the launch angle, you see it in the carry. So what I mean by too much is specifically I hit the ground too far behind the ball, it slowed the club way down. It's nice to be on grass as I can see that. If you're on a mat, you don't always get that feedback. But if you can start to tune into that, it's good. Sometimes if it's a very tight, hard mat and you hit too far behind, the club will ricochet up and you hit it thin.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. So good swing here.
Much crisper.
Yeah, much crisper.
And saw the carry jump right up because of that.
Yep, I didn't hit much grass, so I wasn't totally happy with it, but let's do it again. So you can see how focused I am on one thing. My intention is very clear.
Yes.
On making good contact. And that's important because it keeps me from getting distracted on all the other things that could be floating around in one's head.
I also like that you constrained yourself to 3 balls. Because sometimes, I'll be honest, I can get obsessive out there. And I'm just going to keep going until I hit one good.
Yeah.
And at some point, you're just not doing yourself any favors.
It's easy to see a lot of balls in front of you and think, I'm just going to hit and until I figure out what I did.
Yeah.
But that can lead down to little rabbit holes. Better to just stay on the thing you know you need to do well.
Yep.
You know your swing, you know your tendencies, you know the things you're supposed to do, and stay clear on that. Oh, I love that one.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I was looking for. 90 carry, 102 total.
We can even see that impact vision here as well and see the impact you made.
Yeah, very happy.
Yeah.
Right, so I had my 3 balls. So I might go up the bag depending on how much time I have or how I'm feeling. Probably not going to go to the next club. I probably skip clubs, maybe do a 7 and then a hybrid and a fairway wood and then a driver. And that would be a pretty good practice.
And I think the thing that I'm hearing throughout this is that everything you're doing with intention rather than just hitting balls. I love that constraint on certain things. I love just identifying 1 or 2 numbers because there's so much in here that we can look at. And I think that, like I said, we said before, that's what the best golfers in the world are doing. They're doing it for a reason. It's effective. So it's really cool to see. And now if you've got this tool, like use it the right way. And if you do these three things that we did here, I imagine you're going to be more warmed up when you go to play and you're going to get better when you're just practicing on the range.
You got that.
Yeah. So thank you so much for walking us through that. We always learn something when we're here. This is incredible. I can't wait to try it in my next practice session.
All right, thanks.